Hi, my name's Evan Kenzie. Welcome to video 2 in the Sick Submitter video training course, where I'm going to show you where and how to enter your account creation info. Right, what we want to start is with on this screen, we're on this tab, and we want to click on registration info. Now, there are two ways of doing this. You can actually enter this in manually, where you get to pick basically what you want to put in here. Or you can do it the quick way and you can ask it to generate you all the details. So that's what I'm going to do for speed. It is possible to do it manually, but I'm going to show you how to generate it automatically and then do a couple of little tweaks. So to generate it, basically what you do is you click on generate and there it goes. So it's given you a username, and if you notice within the brackets on here, it has actually spun the username. So the username itself is Herschel Gilbert, but it's put some letters in front of it and some letters behind it, which will change that username every time you come to use it. So for each different profile, you'll find that it will actually spin that. It's given you a password. Now, I tend to change this password, and I will make all my passwords the same. So if I have a problem at a later date, then I know what that password is, so I can actually go in manually and actually have a look at that. That's up to yourself. You can either leave it like that or you can change it. Email. You will enter an email address here, and you will also set up an email account over here. Your display name, again, is the same as the username. Let's set in your birth date details. It's given you a first name and your second name. It has actually given you an address with a post, zip code and everything in the United States, and it's given you all the profile details. These will actually be recorded when you actually submit your profile. Now, for your email address, what you would do here is you would set this up as the email address that will have all of your email submissions. The activation details will come to the mail that you actually put in here. So let's have a look what we've got here. It's recommended, if you use yahoo.co.uk rather than yahoo.com, simply because they have free POP services within .co.uk, but yahoo.com, I believe, is a paid service. So if you're going to do Yahoo, set it up as .co.uk. You can use Hotmail, AOL, or you can actually use other, i.e., for example, if you had a hosting account, just say it's mydomain.com or mydomain.info, you could actually set email to go to one of the email addresses within that, which I've used regularly myself as well. In which case you would use other, and then you would get the port and the host name and everything from your host. Anyway, the easiest way to do it, I'm going to go at the moment, is yahoo.co.uk. It's filled in the details for the port and everything there. What you need to do now is you need to put your login and you need to put your password. So I'm just going to put mine in there. I'm going to stop the video while I do it. Okay, so I have my email address in there now as well. So filled in the provider, the login, the password, the host name, the port, and the SSL. Now this one's important because what you want to do here is you want to say yes to this, because what will happen is you're going to get thousands of emails from your providers from the forums, and just really you don't want to be clicking through those every single time you go to it. So if you highlight this, what that will do, remove all the emails which have already been clicked. So that must be a yes. When you've got all this filled in, what you need to do then is, you need to put the same email over here. Actually, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same email, but for this demonstration, I will make it so it is. So we click test. And we've got the test successful, the login test successful, so that's good to go. Okay. So now we are going to move from there. We're going to go to the capture box. Now, capture, you don't have to actually have capture. You can do this manually if you wish. When you do your submissions, what will happen is every time there is a capture, you will get a little capture box which will actually come up on the screen, which you have to fill in yourself. However, if you want to truly automate this, and it is the only way to go, you really should be using capture. Now, my favorite is death by capture. It is cheap, and in my experience, it has worked the best of them all. I back that up by using deCAPTCHA. Now, to get both of these, it's probably going to cost you $20 for thousands of captures. If you only want to get one, well, fair enough. It's probably going to cost you, a few dollars for 1,000 captures. But in my experience, there are times where the capture works to 110% and it fails. So if that's the case, what you don't want to be doing is having to go back and keep repeating it. It's a costly exercise and it's a time-wasting exercise. So if I was doing it again, I would automatically sign up for 2 captures. I've used bypass and I've also used beat, but these 2 are my favorites, and I think death by capture is the best of the 2. My own personal experience, but it's up to you. So anyway, you would fill this in, and you can set the priority of it, whether it's your first option, and if that doesn't work and it runs out, you can set this up to be your second option, or either of these. You may already have them, I really don't know, but whichever way you do it, I would recommend that you actually use capture. Now the next tab is proxies. Now proxies, like I said earlier, I use or tend to use private proxies simply because they give me a greater chance of succeeding. You don't need to use proxies, you can get away without using anything at all. But if you want to do it at speed and you want to have a profile creation which uses different IP address for every certain number of forum posts or forum registrations, to my mind, it is the best way to go. What I would suggest is, if you're doing this for the first time, is don't use proxies at all. You can get away, you don't have to use them. See how it goes, and if you're using and you're doing, say, 1,000 at a time, you may want to go down that route. But at the end of the day, that's entirely up to you. So anyway, if you wanted to do it, what you would do is you would click on this box here, it would say Harvest New Proxies, and this would give you free proxies, public proxies. Again, I don't really recommend them because I think you're better off not using anything at all than using public proxies. However, if that's the way you want to do it, that's what you would do. That would then give you a long list, up to 300, thousands actually if you want to, proxies. I'm not going to do it on this screen because it will take time. But what will happen is it will bring up all them up, it will then test them to see how good they are, it will remove the failed ones, and it will leave you with ones that work. Now, the problem that I have with public proxies is you're not the only one using them. And people use public proxies for all sorts of things. They're used in the adult world, they're used for spamming, and to be honest, you're possibly using the same proxy that somebody else has been using for to do any number of things. So in my mind, it just isn't worth it for how much it costs you to use a private one. So anyway, that's the proxies tab. So that from there, we're going to go and we're going to move into the profile submitter tab, which I will do in the next video. See you then. Evan Kenzie signing off. Bye.